Assembled guests, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kelo, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
Hare mai rā koutou, ngā rangatira, ngā manukura. Hare mai, I runga I te reo karanga o te kahurangi nei. Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai rā.
E honore he korori a he mau ngāro mo ki runga ki te matua te whenua. E whakaaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Aro haina ngā teina, ne ngā tuakana, e noho nei ni te whakaaro te tahi, pai mai.
Please be seated. Kia ora tātou katoa. Nau mai hara mai ki te whare kāwana o Tāmaki Makaurau. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Government House for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Mr. Joe Harawira, Kaumātua, Mrs. Rānui Ngāremu, Kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of Her Majesty, the Queen of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Mr. Ward Kamo will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Jeff Lorrigan of Auckland for services to business and leadership development. Dr. Jeff Lorrigan is founder and director of the Institute for Strategic Leadership, which provides leadership development programs. He began his CEO career by transforming Canterbury Dairy Farmers, a commodity milk company, into South Island Dairy Farmers, a nationwide consumer food and beverage provider. In the United Kingdom, he led Associated New Zealand Farmers Limited to become the largest and most profitable New Zealand importer group and chaired the New Zealand Lamb Promotional Council. He was Professor of Strategy and directed the MBA and Executive programs at the University of Otago. He then became Professor of Strategy, Director of MBA and Executive programs, and Associate Dean for the Development of the Business School at the University of Auckland. Dr. Lorrigan developed Smart Leader Diagnostics, providing tools for monitoring organisational performance. Dr. Jeff Lorrigan, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Jane Te Hira of Auckland for services to sport. Jane Te Hira was the first woman to represent New Zealand in 3 different sporting codes, namely basketball, softball and hockey, winning 7 national titles. She captained several teams while with the Akarana Sports Association. She played for Akarana Indoor Basketball Team and the New Zealand Indoor Basketball Team. Her hockey career included the Seddon Tech Women's Hockey Team and the Auckland Women's Hockey Team. She played for the national hockey team at the 1956 World Championship in Sydney. She played softball for Akarana Softball Team, the Auckland Women's Softball Team and the New Zealand Women's Softball Team. She was a member of the Akarana Ladies Rugby Team who won the 1949 Te Rarawa Challenge Cup. Ms. Te Hira overcame challenges as a young Māori woman in sport during the 1950s. Ms. Jane Te Hira, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Jim McPhee of Auckland for services to judo. Jim McPhee has been a member of Judo New Zealand, JNZ, since 1959. As a competitor, he won gold and silver medals at the Oceania Championships. He was mat-side coach for New Zealand's first judo Olympian at the 1972 Munich Olympics. He became one of JNZ's leading national coaches and was selected for the 1990 Auckland Commonwealth Games, 1992 Barcelona Olympics, and the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. He has served on many JNZ committees and review teams, ensuring the JNZ adheres to its own rules, remains true to its objectives and always acts ethically. Internationally, Mr. McPhee was an executive member of the Commonwealth Judo Association. Mr. Jim McPhee, please come forward. Mrs. Rukumoana Schaafhausen of Drury for services to Māori and the community. Rukumoana Schaafhausen has worked with Waikato Tainui governance boards, shifting the focus to the voices of tribal members and marae and health and well-being of the Waikato River. She led the development of a strategic plan across 68 marae and partnered with Watercare to ensure reduced reliance on the Waikato River. She has helped with iwi job creation with a joint venture blueberry orchard and an iwi-owned employment hub. With the Prince's Trust New Zealand, she is focused on Māori youth enterprise and entrepreneurship. She chairs the Waikato District Council Waters Governance Board and Miro Limited Partnership, a collective of Māori shareholders with a vision to transform Māori land through horticulture. Mrs. Rukumana Schaafhausen, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Jane Painter of Whangarei for services to the community. Jane Painter was head of the English department at Kamo High School. She edited English in Aotearoa for the New Zealand Association for the Teaching of English. She is a member of the Northland Astronomical Society Whangarei. She led the group responsible for building a planetarium in Heritage Park and is now a tutor and presenter at the planetarium. She edited 2 books of local anecdotes and stories. She was part of a group working to enhance the community through public murals. Mrs. Painter set up guides for Kamo heritage trails and assisted with the placement of heritage signage. Your Excellency, Mrs. Jane Painter. Mrs. Kim Ward of Auckland for services to the community. Kim Ward is an active volunteer and a leader for community activities, fundraising and organising working bees in Paremoremo. She runs an email post which has kept the rural community connected and set up the Paremoremo trade and exchange system. She produced the Pare Publisher community newsletter, coordinated 11 neighbourhood support groups, and organises numerous community events. She's driven environmental initiatives based around the Sustainable Paremoremo Group, SUSPARE, of which she is chair. Mrs. Ward was instrumental in refurbishing the Sanders Community House at Sanders Reserve and was an active member of the Paremoremo Community Club Trust. Mrs. Kim Ward, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the spirit of the whakatauki. Whaia te iti kahurangi, ki te tū oho koe me he maunga teitei. Seek the treasure that you value most dearly. If you bow your head, let it be to a lofty mountain. I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the Queen of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you again for your service to our country. Kia ora, huihu mai tātou katoa. You will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in Te Reo Māori and in English. I now invite you to stand with me and join in singing the national anthem.